assessing leverage. Before you engage in the negotiation process and start banging your fist on the table, you've got to go through a process of handicapping your leverage position. Again, going back to the point we made before, that we're playing with a lesser hand. And to me, Nat, what it really boils down to at the end of the day is whether I can walk away from the deal if I can't get everything that I want. I can, that's great, because that gives me a lot of leverage. But if I can't, that changes the perspective, and you've got to be honest with yourself. If you're in a consolidating segment and there's only one seat left at the musical chair table, or if you're an older founder and you don't have the energy to run the business anymore, and you don't have a succession plan and you have to sell, then you have to be honest with yourself and with your advisors. I mean, the most frustrating thing that is when a founder will tell me, well, you go and talk to the buyer and you make it right. We're not magicians. And when the leverage isn't there, and when you tell me I cannot lose this deal at any cost, I'm going to be very nimble about the way I approach it.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's not a zero-sum game. So it's very true that you need to be brutally honest with yourself and figure out what you need and what's important. But it's also a process of listening and discovery. So you may need an extra 20% in enterprise value in order to be comfortable with the deal. But if you simply go in and ask for 20% more cash, that might blow things up. You need to listen and understand what are the buyer's concerns about cost of capital, timelines, OpEx going forward, really understand their model and constraints. And then often there's a discovery process to figure out what is a different way to navigate this. Maybe I get that additional 20% bump by accepting a higher basically EBITDA number by shedding some people at closing, or maybe I figure out an earnout structure, or maybe there's an equity piece that I could actually vest on achievement of some milestones. I mean, we have to listen, we have to understand what the buyer is trying to solve for, and then we have to get really creative on trying to thread the needle and satisfy our clients' requirements as well.
Yeah, you need to understand the buyer's motivation, Nat. I mean, and look, why is he buying you? I mean, is he buying you to fill a hole in his product stack, or is he buying you to fill and kill because he's a direct competitor and he wants to migrate your customers from your platform to his platform and pick up your revenue? I mean, if he's looking to fill a product hole, then I feel a lot better about an earnout, for example. Because then I know you want me to sell my product because you need to fill that gap. I don't feel so good about an earnout when it's a fill and kill. I mean, it all comes down to an assessment exercise, and that's something you need to do before you get involved in the process.
But I would also just, I would say, Conrad, maybe a slightly different take on that. The smart buyer is going to buy your company not because you have a precious jewel that they feel like they have to have, or because they're worried you're going to put them out of business. I mean, our clients are small. They're going to buy you because they have resources to give you an instant unfair advantage in growing your company. But it's not going to be your company anymore. It's going to be their company. So the smart CEOs that we deal with, they ask the question, what can we do to help your client grow faster?